So you mentioned you work like 55 hours a week. That seems like a lot. And then to do YouTube and have a family on top of that seems very busy. So how do you, I guess, balance all of that?
When I started this, my son was really young, and what I would do is I would get up, believe it or not, because I start work at 5:30 in the morning for my regular job, and I would get up at 2 in the morning and then do this for a couple hours and then go to work. So I did everything I could to still be around for the family, but you are going to make sacrifices. It's just that's it. There's only so many hours in the day, unfortunately.
Hmm.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
I'm really at a point in my life where I wish there was 40 hours in a day. I don't know if that'd be good or not, but I wish because I have that much to do in a 24-hour day. So you sacrifice a lot, you sleep less. When I started this, the goal for me has always been to make this my full-time career. And
Hmm.
I will tell you 3 years in that could still be an achievable goal, but it was not as achievable as I'd hoped from the beginning. Now, I'm not saying that to
Yeah.
discourage anybody who wants to do that because everybody's experience with this is going to be different.
Right.
When I started 3 years ago, my son was 4, and he wasn't in so many sports, he wasn't in so many activities. He was just, with us. Like as he's gotten older, he's into a million different things. He's in 3 sports, and there's a lot less time that I have to dedicate to this because I want to spend time. Don't get me wrong. The main goal is always to spend time with the family. The goal when I started doing this
Hmm.
was to make this a job, to give me more work flexibility, so I don't have to work 55 hours a week, an hour away from my house.
Right.
And to actually see my family more often. The way it really worked out was I see my family less because now I have basically a second job that I'm doing.
Yeah.
So it's still my original goal, I think, is still achievable. I've just had to scale back my expectations a lot. And, I'm sure I would achieve more success doing YouTube if I had, a full work day's worth of time to dedicate to it every day. I'm sure subscribers, views, everything would be so much bigger, but that's okay because in the end, the family part for me is obviously the most important.
Hmm.
Hopefully, YouTube will be around for a lot of years to come, and I'll be doing this for years and years. And now that my son's getting older, I'd like to start to integrate him a little bit, get him out here. He's all this stuff one day is going to end up being his anyway. He might as well learn how to use it. And
Right.
the goal has changed a lot from making this a career so I can spend more time with my family to bringing hopefully my family, if they like doing this, but bringing them in and making this more of a family business. So the time I do spend doing this, I can spend with the family at the same time. That's where I'm starting to shift right now. At 7 years old, my son's not quite old enough to be using power tools and doing stuff, but there's things out here
Hmm.
he can do. And he's pretty handy with the camera, and he has a lot of interest, and he loves spending time with me. What kid doesn't want to spend time with their dad? So um,
Yeah.
I think that's the avenue this is going to take for me. But I'm always reassessing how important this is and the benefits of this versus the time I spent doing it because I have a family.
Hmm.
And at one point, if this ever becomes in the way of my family time and too much, I would probably stop doing YouTube. But so far, it's worked out. 3 years in, we're still going, still making it work.